Hello everybody and welcome back to the Wrestling Recap Show. I am your host Big Mike and we're here to discuss the fallout from Survivor Series. Yes, the slaughtering of Raw dominating SmackDown Live 6-0. Monday Night Raw, ladies and gentlemen, happened today, and what was it? It was the same, well, no, it wasn't the same. It was the same show. It was crappy, but you know, the show was trash. To be honest with you, the show was pretty bad. But thank you guys for tuning back into the channel. I appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new. Hit the notification bell as well, and if you're a subscriber, hit the notification bell. Like the video, share the video where you share things. Comment. Tell me what you guys thought about it. I will read those, give me your ratings, give me your complaints, or tell me what you thought about the show of any kind. I would like to read those. Follow me on Twitter. It's on the layout made by the homie Salrex, my graphics designer. Graphics design pretty much everybody, almost everybody important, or you know, everybody that's pretty darn good in the wrestling community. A lot of guys that I talk to, so hit him up. His Twitter will be in the description along with mine. And let's hop right into the show. LA, this is day 3 of LA, and also I will be putting this up on I will be putting this up on Healed Stevens channel as well. I'm filling in for him as well. So what's up everybody on the Healed Stevens channel? Come subscribe to me, and I gladly appreciate it. Now let's just talk right to the show. We'll hop right into the show. Talk about the show, whatever you want. You know, whatever. You know, I'm acting weird. I don't know why. Raw for the 3rd days in LA. Tomorrow will be the last day for SmackDown. Now we get Baron Corbin in the ring. You get Baron Corbin in the ring. He's talking about Survivor Series, and then he announces Stephanie McMahon. Stephanie McMahon comes out, you know, basking in the glory, as if she's putting on an impression like freaking Keith Lee. But she was talking about, you know, Survivor Series, and then Braun walked down. Braun, you know, was pretty much confirming what he wanted to do, and he fulfilled his, you know, his quota at Survivor Series. He didn't touch Baron Corbin, so he gets what he wants, and they confirmed. And it's going to be at TLC, and it's going to be the TLC match. And he said, you're going to get these hands, these tables, these ladders, and these chairs. So get ready for that. And also, I want a rematch with Brock Lesnar. So he asked for that, but then that led into a match. They made up a match, but then Stephanie turned it into a 6-man tag, elimination 6-man tag, excuse me, with Baron Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman, Elias, and Finn Balor. So you know where this was going. So that led into that. And this match was pretty much how Survivor Series was for SmackDown. It was get out, and then we'll beat you down. It's pretty much what it was. They eliminated Finn first. Then they fought a little bit, and they eliminated Elias. And then they was trying to beat down Braun, all 3 of the guys. And I believe Braun Strowman hit a power slam on Baron Corbin, and it almost got a near fall until McIntyre hit him with a chair, disqualifying everybody, I guess. It just didn't disqualify him, it disqualified everybody. And they just beat the crap out of Braun. That's all they did. They just beat the crap out of Braun, throwing him into the barricade, throwing him into both steel steps. And when they threw him into the steel steps, they cut his arm. So it made it look even more gruesome of what they did at the end of the whole thing. They was tossing him from barricade to barricade, from steel steps to steel steps. And they put his arm, they grabbed the belt, they tied his hand on the belt. Drew McIntyre was stomping him out so he wouldn't get any, strength to try and power out what they were getting ready to do. And at first, he was going to hit his hand on the steps, crush it with the chair. And then he got the steel steps, crushed his whole arm. And the paramedics and stuff came out. And he said, "I can't feel my arm or my fingers." That's what Braun said. And that was the end of that. So I was like, all right, didn't care about the match, but the stuff that happened, the stuff that happened after the match, I liked. So sue me. I liked that. So I'm not a fan of Braun now, since he's been, sort of buried by Brock and getting hit with all them F5s and stuff like that. I'm not really on the best, on the side of Braun right now. Probably won't be again, because they gave him so many chances and he's just been getting pinned and pinned and pinned. It'll be worse, and then they'll pin him strong and they'll pin him at the worst time. It's just weird with him. So that's how I feel about that. Then what happened? What happened after that? So I'm looking through these notes. Okay, then we get a really good promo segment. So we get Seth Rollins coming out, greeting the crowd, puts him over. Basically, he was saying, he said 6 years ago to today, the Shield was since the Shield made their debut, and they put that on all their social medias to make everybody know. But he was just talking about how, the situation with him and Dean Ambrose, saying that is getting. He said he gets a pit in his stomach about Dean Ambrose, because all these weeks, it's been 4 weeks since he turned on the Shield, and no explanation, no nothing. And I just want to know why. And he says that he loves the WWE. He's not the Shield anymore. He doesn't need the Shield anymore. He said the Shield made him weak. He burned the vest. And he said that he loved the WWE. He said, all the 10 years that I known him, I never heard him say love, or knew that he knew how to love anything, and he said that he said that he wished he would have talked to him. He didn't know that he was on his deathbed almost when he got the infection in his elbow, because he wouldn't answer any of his phone calls. And he said, and all this stuff is making me sick right now, so I'm looking for a fight. Come on out here and let's do this right now. And Dean Ambrose comes up on the screen. Dean Ambrose said, he said, all the 6 years in the Shield, he said, people didn't know what we were like after the camera went off when we were on the road. And he said, we're paying for that right now. And he said, and we're going to pay for that in many different ways. And he said, look at Roman. He said, Roman, for doing what he did in the Shield, he has to talk to the man. He has to answer to the man upstairs. Basically saying that he's playing his deed with God right now because he has cancer. And yes, they went there. This is the same company who said Eddie isn't in heaven. Eddie is down there in hell. So you kind of knew that they were going to do that. And it was going to happen. Kind of sucks, but hey, it is what it is. That's professional wrestling for you. They play off of real life situations. Then he said that what makes it even worse, He said you have to. He said you have to answer. You have to answer to me. My lips are dry. He said you have to answer to me. And he said, and if you want an answer, and if you want to fight, he said, come back here and look for me. He said, I'm right here. So come on in the back and try and find me, and we'll do this. And that's what happened throughout this whole show. He was running around, hooping and hollering, trying to figure out where Dean Ambrose was up until the end of the show. Until we get there. Then after that, we got the Boston Hug connection versus Nia Jackson Tamina. Nia Jackson Tamina picks up the win. Samoan drop to Bayley. Match was alright. Then we get a backstage segment and a recap of what happened between tag team match versus tag team champions, excuse me. Tag team champions versus tag team champions, and the peeing situation of Drake Maverick. And they showed a acting scene between everybody in catering making pee jokes at Drake Maverick. The goofy games have begun, ladies and gentlemen. There is no more taking AOP serious, and I know Paul Ellering is kicking his bald head every time. If he's even watching the show, I'm pretty sure he's not even watching the show. So God bless. But if he is kicking himself at what they're doing to his tag team right now. They were taken so seriously in NXT, and now they're just a big goof because of their itty bitty manager. Isn't that something? So that led to a match between Chad Gable and Rude against AOP. Then we get a Lucha House Party versus Revival match, and the match was under Lucha House rules, which means that all three members of Lucha House Party are in the match legally. And they only have two members of the Revival, and the Revival is like, what in the world is this? So guess what? They got dominated in this match. Buried twice over. You talking about 6 feet deep first time? They're about 24 feet deep. Double times over. Triple times over. Quadruple times over. Buried. Revival. Done. See you later. Put the last covering of dirt over that tag team. And I don't even care if they get a third member. You know, they're done. That's it. The Revival is done. Jesus Christ. Then we get some more Seth and all that type of stuff. We get 2 segments of that. Then we get Ronda Rousey in her segment, soaking in the ambience. She got a mixed reaction, and then she got a little bit of booze. Then she said a thing in her promo where she said that me and Charlotte are not done. I'm going to try and figure out a way where we can get a second match in. I'm going to find out. And then I was like, uh-oh. I hope they're not doing what I think they're going to do. I hope they do that Royal Rumble. So if they do it at Mania, then God dang it, they didn't found an excuse. That is what, after hearing everybody's review, I didn't want to say it in my review, even though I wasn't thinking it, but everybody else said it, so you got to at least acknowledge it. Everybody's afraid that they might give Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair the main event at WrestleMania anyway, and kick Becky to the side and just say, yep, this is why we wanted it anyway. Let's do it. This is a reason why we wanted to. And we got it, so we got to amp it up once more time. Basically giving Becky the shaft. And basically people were pitching the idea that they don't want to see Ronda and Charlotte at WrestleMania, and then they give Becky versus Nia at WrestleMania. They don't want that because, number one, that's giving Nia a high-profile match which she doesn't deserve because of her actions, of why we're in this situation anyway. And Nia is just horrible. She doesn't deserve anything. So I understand that. So that was that. And she said she felt like she let everybody down pretty much. So she wants to defend her championship right now against anybody to prove that she's a great champion. Corbin came out, denied her request, and she said, I had 17 bouts. And I didn't make an excuse. I made every 17 bouts. And I'm not going to make an excuse right now. So it's either find me somebody. If not, you come in here and get this butt whipping. And Corbin contemplated it. He said, all right, I'm going to go find somebody. But I'll guarantee you this, I will have a new Raw tag team. I'll have a new Raw Women's Champion. So I'm like, oh snap. Are they getting ready to pull a trigger right now? Are they getting ready to set something up? So we go from the commercial and then we come back to commercial. Come back from commercial. And Mickie James is the person that he picked. So I refused at the time to believe that that was it. I was like, that can't be it. You know, she got to run like a gauntlet or something. Like, she has to be running a gauntlet. It has to be a catch to this, right? She beat her in timely fashion with the armbar. And that was like, at the end of the whole thing, I was like, so what garnered Mickie James to have a title match in the first place? She hasn't wrestled a singles match in God knows how long. It's like she's been on the shelf with Alexa Bliss, pampering her, waiting on her to get ready. And she'll just fight a tag team match. That's all she'll do. So what made this garner her to have a women's title match? I don't get that. And then that instantly pissed me off. And then once Ronda gets up the ramp, Nia Jax and Tamina walks out. Nia Jax blows on her fist and rubs the dirt off, basically saying, I'm going to break your face, and then walks away. That was dumb too. I'm sorry. I know they got to build to something, but that was dumb too. I don't want to see that at all. That's like some WWE 2K19 cutscene BS. I don't want to see that. Like, why they just didn't have Nia and Tamina just beat her up at the ramp? She was already walking, and the crowd was like, oh, and then, oh, that was stupid. Then we get Authors of Pain versus Baru Chad Gable. They're fighting. And they did something. The crowd was chanting AOPP. It is officially a done deal. AOP is done. You might as well flip the championships to Rude and Gable. There's no recovery at all. AOPP, there is no recovery at all. At all. You might as well give these titles to Rude and Gable at TLC. There is no recovery. And if you don't, oh my God, this division is twice dead over, cooked, clean. Stick a fork in them, pull it out, it's clean. They're done. Everything's done. And I know that they have to build up a team, you know, to face them. But come on, there's ways to build up a team and, you know, get them ready for AOP without beating the dang tag team champions. You know, your champion should never ever be pinned in certain situations. And with this team, they shouldn't be pinned. I hate it every time they do that. They put somebody to start a feud with them and then they pin the champion. The champion has no business losing a match ever at certain moments unless they're fighting a higher level champion. Like if it's a tag team champion fighting a singles wrestler in a singles competition, then yes, they lose to that higher champion, no matter if it's a mid-carder or a main carder. But when it's a champion team going up against a non-champion team, like you could had the freaking match go to no disqualification because you think AOP is nervous that they probably would have got beaten in the match. Or you could have had, hey, there's a freaking manager out there. You could have had freaking Drake Mavericks do something and got them disqualified. You didn't have to pin them. This is what I don't get. I think this was their first loss as a tag team. As tag team champions. They lost already, I believe, to the Shield earlier this year. A few months ago, actually. A few months ago. So this is their first loss as champions, and this is their second loss as a team. So I'm not completely done with it, but I just don't like the decision. Then we get Natalya versus Ruby Riott. Decent match. Natalya wins with a side cradle pin. So I believe this will be continuing because she didn't finish her. Then Dean Ambrose shows up backstage, basically mocking smell of LA and all that type of stuff with smog. And then he comes out to the arena, does the same. I mean, he comes down to the ring, does the same thing. And then Seth was shown leaving before this scene even happened. And then he started coming back in. So that was stereotypical. So I was like, all right, okay. And then we get them, fighting in the ring. Then we get cowardly Dean Ambrose trying to run away through the crowd, but he got caught back. Then he got hit in the ding ding. This is the year the heels are penis whisperers, or nut whisperers, or crotch whisperers. They just kick and punch for the kids. Family jewels. They just punch them as heels. That's all they do now. So and he hits with the dirty deeds, saying you want to talk now, you want to talk. And he leaves, pulls his jacket off, comes back in, another dirty deeds, and then that's the end of the show. This show gets a 4 out of 10 for me. Show was you know, so a little bit of build towards TLC. Glad that they're sort of doing that, but bad decisions. Bad decisions. Tell me what you guys think. I'd like to read those. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, share it, comment. I will see you guys tomorrow for SmackDown Live and see what type of stuff they got stored for that after that egregious Survivor Series performance getting goose egged. Peace, everybody.